I will bring peace to this universe, no matter the cost.
Guys, what kind of logic is that?
I will leave this universe a better
Phil
place
straight up
than
asked
it
her,
was
you could
before
push
I
a magic
was
button
created.
and end childhood obesity, knowing all the health and life problems that it
30
causes.
seconds
Would
before
you
I
you
do it?
love
attack.
Dr.
Get
Phil.
ready.
If you can push a button
I
and
love
keep a
him.
child from
bring peace.
experiencing
We don't have
obesity,
that button.
that's
We
not
don't, yeah,
Mutants must
sure, but we
protect
don't have the
mutants,
button. But let's say
also
you did.
all of humanity.
what I ask you.
That's her response. She's not
In
going
times
to
like
put an
these,
end
people
to
with
childhood
power
obesity
must
because
be at their
childhood
best.
obesity is the result of body diversity. Childhood obesity is natural.
That seemed to me
battle
like a
starts in
question that anybody would say yes to.
three,
If you could
two,
stop childhood cancer, would you say yes to that?
Well, I think what's hard is we're using the word obese.
Got it?
Yeah, personally, I think one doom is way more than enough.
Bro, he got her. He fucking got her. This is terrifying. The thing is that for like a good, for the better part of 10 years, we were prevented from being able to say the truth about people like you. And we were living in a Karenocracy.
Capture now.
And this type of disgusting, gluttonous, self-serving, selfish behavior was normal. That's it. No longer. We are done with that. Thank God. Karen's against the Matrix? Yes, we have to break out of the Karen Matrix.
Obesity when there's actually body diversity, right? Like there are people in this room who have children who are naturally in larger bodies.
Ma'am, you really
They're naturally in larger bodies. It's like I was gonna make a car joke, but I was like, wait a minute. No, you can choose to buy a Miata or you can choose to buy a van.
Happy to help.
It doesn't even make sense with a car. They're born fat. It's disinformation? Yeah, I guess so.
We're not going to put an end to childhood obesity. So yes, Virgie would not put an end to childhood obesity, even though she went through it herself and had a rough
She
time.
went through it herself.
She would not put an end to it.
Body diversity is a real thing.
To suggest that childhood obesity happens because of the body diversity thing, it's just not really like, it's so silly that I would not be talking about this seriously if San Francisco didn't hire her, Berkeley didn't invite her to speak. Like, somebody has to. Like, obviously, we're not all genetically the same.
It's all, this entire movement and everything surrounding it is a massive coat by fat women that are trying to psyop society into thinking that it's not disgusting.
Enemy in front of us.
That's the entire. That's what it's all based on. Every single part of the fat acceptance movement works to serve that goal.
The wind will only blow stronger.
We have different reasons for being different body sizes, but body diversity to the tune of children being morbidly obese didn't exist in the 1970s. This number has steadily risen for the last 60 years, up from basically zero.
Well, it's so bad now that not only, so you've got the kids that are getting spawn camped not only by McDonald's, but also by Apple. And not the kind you eat, but the kind you play on. So they're on an iPad all day eating McDonald's, and you've got kids that don't even develop muscles in their legs enough where they can go upstairs. You got kids in 4 and 5 years old that can't even go up the stairs because they haven't developed the muscles in their legs to do
Your
it.
team's capture progress
No
is
way,
past
for
the
real?
halfway
Yeah,
point.
it's real. Look it up.
Team player, that's
It's
me.
sad. I know. Really? No, I'm being 100% real on this. Look it up. RFK better send him to the camp. He needs to do something. He needs to do something.
Feel the wrath of the goddess.
And at some point, Dr. Phil completely calls her out and says, you just want to run an agenda about discrimination in your health.
You're wanting to run an agenda about discrimination and
It's not an
ignore
agenda,
health.
but no, I don't want to help it. I don't want
It's
to
not an agenda. It's a menu.
ignore health at all. I'm saying that
You do want to ignore health because you want to run
Of course you do. Thank you, Dr. Phil. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
a social agenda.
And finally, is there any other evidence that Virgie probably shouldn't hold any sort of role in public health, even if it's only for $12,000, I present you this. So I found this article on the AIM blog where she discusses interrupting an obesity research conference.
Happy to help.
Extra sharp.
What that means is talking to her and her friends when they're at Golden Corral.
Somewhere in the world is a little girl like I. Wind, cloud, and storm. Hear
Her
my
friends
command.
ran into a meeting of researchers and scientists discussing
I am beyond my pitiful creator.
30 seconds before you
Mutants
attack.
must
Get
protect
ready.
us, but also all of humanity.
the obesity epidemic and interrupted the whole thing by playing music and yelling, correlation isn't causation. And then Virgie was escorted out by a woman who said shame on you to her, to which Virgie thought, if shame belongs anywhere, I thought, it belongs to the people who are at this conference, not us. You mean the scientists trying to help people with obesity? Virgie's thinking is so obviously
Yes, obviously the scientists should be ashamed of themselves.
Got it?
flawed that at some point on the show, even a 14-year-old slapped back at her.
Not the same thing. Race and the size of your body are just not the same thing.
So yeah, I hope you guys
Wait, she said, no, they are not playing into that bullshit that like minorities can't lose weight. What the fuck is wrong with you?
for this video about a person who quite literally disowns the entire idea of health being hired to a public health position. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you
It is. This is absolutely, this is 100% Ron Swanson. Being hired to do a job. Oh, we can see you guys, yes. This is amazing. I can't even believe this. Good video. What a fucking video. Batsy Bar, right?
I lift up my comrade.
Choose another word. Anyway, this is unbelievable. I don't know how this happens, guys. I really don't. And it's nuts. Body type 33. Body type 33. Can you please explain how the fuck this happened? Let me explain how the body positivity movement happened. The body positivity movement happened because you had a bunch of women who got together that wanted to create an apparatus that enables them to continue being gluttonous and overweight. And so they've created and this is also, you keep in mind that a lot of the women that do this are white or white adjacent. There's a very big component of, I think it's especially white women, that are looking to find a way that they can be a oppressed class. Am I wrong? And I know, like, oh, you're not supposed to say it, but I'm saying they try so hard. They try so hard to figure out some sort of way that they're oppressed, that they're dissent, right? It's painfully true. It is. And it's just, and again, you look at the Tesla riots, you look at the look at all these protests and everything. It's like, how many points on the graph do you need to make a line? Because you've certainly got a lot more than two. And so, yeah, it's just disgusting, man. Was women are the bane of my existence? Yeah, I don't know. And, yeah, fat people are fat because they overeat and they think washing clothes and doing a school run exercise is like a health quote. And, yeah, it's just, I don't know what to say. Please change the screen. Yeah, I mean, I do think that's genuinely what it is that it's also another movement that, like, you know, like white women and people, and a lot of these women are, like, part of, like, they're like from places of like relative privilege, and so they have like a guilt for that, and so they create a way to make themselves feel like they're victims, so they can feel better and less guilty about their privilege. That's basically what I think is happening. And I understand that, like, this might be kind of harsh to say, but I'm being honest. I think that's really what's happening. I think that's actually what's going on.
The area is almost yours.
Apparently, Shuon had made a video about me. It's titled "The Male Loser Epidemic." I was told that I was mentioned and referenced in this video. I don't know if it's true. If it's not true, it's probably a bad video. Let's be honest.
Hello again, friends. Sorry I've been gone for quite a bit. Hopefully nothing too crazy happens. I feel like every time I take a break, like a war breaks out or something.
That's
but
what happened.
thankfully that did not happen.
Right?
But at least we found out along the way.
This is a fake
Welcome
one.
back to the Shoe Head channel. If it is your first time here,
I'm opening a box.
I am Shoe Head, and on this channel I like to cover cultural issues mostly surrounding men's issues. It's what I've been doing for over a decade, and frankly, I'm exhausted. Many of you have been along for the ride, and you have seen me go from the chipper, lively, 24-year-old making fun of BuzzFeed and Tumblr feminists to a bitter, callous.
I found out about this girl from 4chan back in like 2000 and like fucking gamer. And yep, I did.
24-year-old talking about very real and growing men's issues. One of the main men's issues I have been covering in great detail lately has been the male loneliness epidemic. Yeah, but it turns out I was wrong. We don't have a male loneliness epidemic. We have a male loser epidemic. It's not a male loneliness epidemic. No, it's a male mediocrity epidemic. It's a male loser epidemic.
The male loser epidemic has gotten so bad that it's honestly so pathetic at this point.
So here's the problem, bro. Like, you got like you don't even use these pillows on your bed.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a
Like,
winner.
you're talking about being a loser. You got a bunch of pillows on your bed. You just put those on your bed so your bed looks good. Who does this?
Now, I don't always talk about men's issues. No, sometimes I talk about politics, and sometimes I mix the two together. Now, I know a lot of you don't like politics. You don't care about politics. But politics cares about you, and it will enter your life no matter how hard you try to avoid it. But thankfully, I have these perfect apps to help you navigate this difficult,
It's just that
confusing
fucking that
political
thing.
So let's quickly give a shout out to today's sponsor, Ground News.
I knew it.
Before we get into this video, shall we? Ground News is a website and an app that gives readers a fun and transparent way to read the news from all across the political spectrum.
I
From
think there should be a news app where it just tells you a bunch of shit that's not even true. They could call it CNN.
left, right, and center. Every story comes with a quick visual breakdown of the political bias, ownership, and headlines that help you understand the full story and make sure you're getting both sides.
Yeah.
One of my favorite features from Ground News has to be the blind spot feature, which shows you news stories that have been covered by only one side of the political spectrum and ignored by the other.
30
For
seconds
example,
before you
here's a
attack.
story about how
Get
the
ready.
CIA uncovered a Russiagate fraud,
Oh,
and right
yeah.
away we can
I
see
saw
how it
that.
has been covered by 41 sources, and out of those 41 sources, 93% of them lean right.
Wow, what a surprise. I would have never guessed.
With only 2 left-wing outlets reporting the story.
Yeah.
Ground News also makes it really easy to compare
convenient.
headlines to see just how political bias can affect the framing of a story. For example, this story about Zoran Mamdani winning the Democratic primary in New York, this left-leaning outlet says Zoran Mamdani's win just got a little sweeter. And meanwhile, the right-wing outlet says, meet Zoran Mamdani, the man who will ruin New York. As you can see, very different vibes.
Yeah.
I've been using Ground News since 2021 because I think it is so informative, so fun, and it helps you see how different stories are framed so differently. And
I get my news from Twitter screenshots and AI.
It's one of the few apps that I wake up and just immediately check.
Yeah, it's AI
It's also
Twitter.
just
They're like,
my
damn,
word.
that's what happened.
Even the Nobel Peace Center called it an excellent
Wait,
way
they
to
arrested
stay informed,
Obama.
avoid
Wow.
chambers, and explore
Again!
That's crazy.
Best of all, I am currently offering 40% off their Vantage plan, which is the plan I use to access all of their amazing features. This comes out to only like $5 a month, which is like the price of a coffee. So go to brown.news/shoe or use the QR code right there on screen or the link in the video description down there and subscribe to Brown News today. I feel like what they're doing is really important, especially right now, and it helps us approach the news in a more fair and balanced way. So thank you to Ground News for sponsoring this video, and thank you to the viewer for not skipping the ad.
That's me.
Right. Now, let's get back to the video. With all these issues men are facing, they seem to be moving to the right and the Republicans more, since the left and Democrats.
Policies are that women or men are bad. What a surprise that the policy that women should receive preferential treatment isn't popular with men. Who could have ever guessed that? It's a fucking mystery. Oh my god.
Democrats have essentially just become the young men eating and dying. Months ago, I covered how the Democratic Party was losing young men, and I predicted Kamala Harris would lose in part because of young men overwhelmingly voting for Trump. And I was correct. Well, now the Democrats have unveiled their final solution.
And by the way, a lot of young guys, Trump isn't right-wing enough. Oh yeah. Oh, get ready, get ready. We're in really fun territory.
Right-wing male Democrats spending millions to learn how to speak to American men and win back the working class. Democrats have blown millions of dollars on efforts to appeal to American men who turned to President Donald Trump in droves.
See, I don't know if she knows about this at all, but so the Democrats catered a luxury hotel for them to all get together and fly in and have like a catered meal service event for them to discuss why they can't relate to every average working class people. I'm not even kidding. They're so stupid. Yeah.
On election day in hopes of winning back the working class. Democrats have spent $20 million on their efforts, with donors and strategists pulling up in luxury hotel rooms, brainstorming how to convince working class men to return to the party. Ah yes, nothing more relatable to working class men than luxury hotel rooms. Great job, guys.
Yeah, good
The
one.
plan? Codenamed SAM, or Speaking with American Men.
Isn't that Slam?
Plan promises to use the funds to study the syntax, language, and content that gains attention and virality in
Okay, the syntax. All right, so there's a word that starts with F you're not supposed to say, and there's a couple other words that you also aren't supposed to say either. And if you go on the internet, you'll see a lot of guys use these words a lot.
The effort also recommends Democrats buy advertisement in video games, among other things. The Democratic Party is treating young men like exotic animals of study.
Armed! You're again! Moving more fast!
The area's almost yours!
That's crazy.
You owe me now. Remember that.
Wow. How about that? This is in the male worker epidemic video. That's crazy.
His natural habitat. In a dark, messy cave surrounded by Taco Bell wrappers and empty Mountain Dew bottles.
True.
Here is another young man, as you can see, also dwelling in a dark cave.
Yes.
This one has dyed his hair blue to scare off potential predators. Unfortunately, it also scares off potential mates, but moving on, here is another young man, we think. We're not quite sure about this one.
Nobody knows.
We're still studying it. Listen, Democrats, instead of spending $20 million to do that stupid, maybe you should, I don't know, actually listen to men. I listen to men for free all the time. All I have to do is read my comment section. Let's see here. Shoe on Head is a perfect example of